So, during the exam, we'll talk about Forex. In general, you are talking about an international company. You are talking about a multinational. You are talking about trading where it involves two currencies. You are talking the situation whereby somebody is moving from one country to another country. Is it clear? So, remember, such kind of model that we have somebody in Tanzania and he is thinking going in UK. That's the point. And there are two grounds, whether he is importing or he is exporting. Do you get the point? So when he is importing goods, then he is using this line. When he is exporting, he is using this line. So in C3, we are talking exporting and importing. We had some information from taxation, even in economics, that the balance of trade. You see, you must think of imports and export. And in actual sense, you will see that we are insisting the country to do more export than what? Than import. Because if you export, you receive foreign currency receivable. But if you import, you are paying. That's why we are discouraging more trips abroad, because if you have more trips abroad, you will involve paying the foreign currency. You will involve buying the foreign currency. Will involve heavy expenditure, and that's bad news. So, cutting down the foreign trips, it is a very good measure to improve the government performance through its expenditure. In summary, we said something on foreign direct investment. This is a situation whereby the multinational from foreign country are coming to our country to invest in plant, building, equipments, and machinery. So the foreign donor will invest in our country and will require a fixed asset in our land. And that's why we have taxation policy in these multinational companies. Now today, we are going to talk about quotation so that you clearly understand and we compute some of the cases, right? Yesterday, I told you in any Forex, there must be a bank. There must be a bank, number one. There must be a bank. Number two, there must be a customer. So I want this one to be very well defined. There must be a bank and there must be a customer. When I say a bank, it could be a bureau de change. It could be somewhere where currencies are sold for delivery. Is it clear? Now, there are some key issues which are very peculiar in this trade. The bank is a price maker. Remember this one. A bank is a price maker. So if you want to buy a currency or to sell a currency, you can't make your own price. You must refer to a bank quotation. Are we clear there? Now, number one, types of bank quotation. There are two types. Number one, we have one-way quotation. Number two, we have two-way quotation. When I say quotation, you understand, it's the price of currency. Am I clear? Now, what is a one-way quotation? I'll explain clearly what is a one-way quotation. A one-way quotation ni nini? Now, one-way quotation. In this quotation, we are saying it is a quotation. It is a quotation where bid price and ask price are the same. Am I clear? A one-way quotation, it is a quotation where bid price and ask price are the same. For example, quotation 1. For example, quotation 1. If quotation 1 is written as ZS 2000 stroke dollar, that is a one-way quotation because a bid price and ask price is the same. Am I clear? Quotation 2. It could be written as ZS 19 per Kenyan shillings. This is a one-way quotation. Quotation 3. It is written as ZS 2800 stroke pound. This is one-way quotation. Quotation 4. It is written as ZS 2450 stroke euro. So in this quotation, the currency which has been expressed as a single unit here, this currency, for example, in the first quotation, this dollar is a trading currency. In quotation 2, what is a trading currency? How about quotation 3? How about quotation 4? Euro. That is very important. So this is what we call a one-way quotation. Do you see? Now, what is a two-way quotation? What is a two-way quotation? I said you must be very clear and you must understand the concept before other complications. So we had a two-way quotation. And you will be given the exam, whether a two-way or one-way. Now, what is a two-way? We are saying this quotation, and this is a standard quotation, involves bid price and what? Ask price. It involves bid price and what? Ask price. In this quotation, a spread can be computed. What is a spread? A spread is a profit on trading currency. A spread is a profit on trading currency. Now, let's see examples of two-way quotation. I'll just see. Quotation 1. Yes. how is this quotation one having two-way? For example, in order to note the two-way quotation, there must be somewhere a bid. And also there must be somewhere ask. And you must have somewhere a spread. Do you see? There must be somewhere. Now, next, there must be indicated a pairing, the relation between two currents. And you must be able to see from that pairing whose current is a trading currency. So at this point, let me say TZS stroke $1. You see? So here, dollar is a trading currency in this quotation. And at this point, what are we talking? Bid is a price at which a bank agrees to buy dollar. So let's put 2040. This is bid price. So if a customer is selling $1, the bank will give him this rate. So bid price is a price at which a bank agrees to do what? To buy dollar from a customer. Ask is a rate at which a bank agrees to sell $1. So ask 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the difference? Compute it clearly. Use your calculator, please. Compute the difference. It is 105. Now let us explain this so that you understand. A bank is making business. So I write it here. Bid price. What is a bid price? It is a price at which a bank agree to do what? To buy a trading current. To buy a trading. So in this particular, to buy dollar, to buy one trading currency. And the ask price is a price at which a bank agree to do what? To sell a trading currency. Agree to sell a trading currency. So ask price is a price at which a bank agree to sell a trading currency. Am I clear? That is very important, a trading currency. This is very important. Now, what is a spread? Spread is a profit. Spread is a profit made by what? A bank. Upon selling a trading currency. So in this quotation, we are saying a bank buys $1 at this rate. So if a customer is selling $1, then the bank will agree to buy at this rate here, bid price. Accordingly, if a customer wants to buy $1 from the same bank, the bank will use this rate. So the difference is what? this one here, which is spread. So if we want to prepare financial statement, I repeat, if we want to prepare financial statement of CRDB Bank on Forex, the cost of the transaction is this one, and the revenue is this one. For example, let us give you this example number 1 here. The following data has been given from CRDB Forex market. So it is the DS stroke euro. Now the bid price and ask price will be given. Now key issue, euro has been quoted as ZS2134 in bid price, and it is 2432 on ask price. This is a quotation. This is a quotation. Now, required. Compute the profit made by CRDB Bank upon selling euro 1.5 million. It is very simple, isn't it? Compute the profit made by CRDB upon selling how many euros? Exactly. So you must start that what is a profit that can be realized by CRDB if it sells this euro. That is very important. Do you know the profit? So you know that what is the profit so far? Profit is equal to what? Sales revenue minus what? Cost of what? Of sales. This is from what we have, isn't it? So in this transaction, you must see the bank had 1.5 million euro. Now, what is the cost to this bank? So it means the bank buys from the customer how many euros? 1.5 million. And then it sells the same amount at a different price. That's work. So in this ground, you must compute the cost of 1.5 million the bank pays when it is buying this euro. So cost of sales. So you must use what? Bid price, because a bank is buying to a customer. Am I clear? So we are saying 1 euro equals to how many shillings it is buying from the customer? 21.34. So this is 21.34. Now, what is a transaction? Now this is euro 1.5. Then compute it there. I need the cost of sales. Kiasi gani? Harakisha hapo. 3 billion. So cost of sales is euro 1.5 million times ZS 2134 divided by 1 euro. So this euro and this euro cancel out. So the cost of sale is ZS 201 million. This and 00. Okay, so that is a cost of sales. What is a sales revenue? So the first working is here, cost of sale. The second working is here, revenue, sales revenue. So use what? Ask price, because the bank is now selling this euro. So what is the rate? It's 1 euro equals to, how much is that? It is 24.32. 24.32. So you have sold 1.5 million euro. Then what is the sales revenue? Yes, what's the transaction? So sales revenue is equal to euro times TZS 232 of 1 euro. How much is this? TZS 3 billion again 48 million. That is the sales revenue. Now the profit is the sales revenue minus cost of sales. It is simple now. You can see a very simple transaction in this down. So we're saying sales profit now is equal to sales minus cost of sales. So 3 billion, this is minus, that was 22,010. 22, sorry, it is, I'm sorry, 32,010. 32,010 million. What's the figure? 447 million. So this is a profit to the bank on that transaction. Am I clear from there? So using two-way quotation, that's where we have a profit. If we are using a single quotation, no profit will be realized, because actually the bid price and the ask price are the same. Okay, so this is a two-way quotation. Now we understand, isn't it? Okay. From there, let me use another techniques. In quotation, there is what we call the reciprocal of a rate. The reciprocal of a rate. The reciprocal. Reciprocal, and this is very important. When I say reciprocal, understand. What's reciprocal? One over something, the inverse. You see. Now, what is happening? For example, this is example number 2, I don't know. For example, if quotation 1, number 1 is quoted as the DS stroke euro. Trading currency is euro. and it is 24.31. What is a reciprocal from here? A reciprocal now is as follows, and this is very important. It is euro stroke ZS1. The reciprocal is 1 over 24.31. Am I clear? Now let's see on quotation 2. If you a pound is quoted against Tanzanian shillings and the quotation is 28.78, the reciprocal in this transaction is pound stroke. So the S1 must be here. Again, this is 1 over 28.78. Am I clear? Now, what is happening in the reciprocal? It is like mathematics, but this is not mathematics. This is very technical in forex. I will show you something here. Look here. What is a trading currency here? Is euro. Do you see? And what is a trading currency here? Is Tanzanian shillings. Am I clear? Again, trading currency here is pound. About here, Tanzanian shillings. I will explain how this is being used. In a single way quotation, it may be seemed no problem. But now it exists something we call anastomers in a two-way quotation. Now let's see two-way quotation. Let's see quotation 1, which is very technical. So you might not see it. Assume you have quotation 1 as shown here. Let me show you here. If it is quoted that TZS stroke USD, so you are having what? Bid and what? Ask price. Am I clear? If this quotation is made as follows: 23.46 and 25.71. This is a quotation. Now, can you tell me the reciprocal of it? You must note. Now I write, this is dollar stroke what? This quotation in reciprocal form, it means that Tanzanian shillings is a trading currency, isn't it? Now, see what happened here, which is very important. The way you make quotation here in reciprocal, you take this. Do you see it? This is the ask price. Then you put it here. Do you see it? Again, in a rusty, you take this. You put it here. This is a very technical approach. I repeat, this is very technical approach in this two-way quotation. Remember how to get the second currency. So you'll be given always in a problem during the examination, you'll be given the first quotation. The second quotation is computed in this way. So I repeat, quotation 1 is provided during the exam. That Tanzanian shillings stroke dollar. This one is provided in examination. The second one is not given. So this is a reciprocal. You can compute it using this procedure. So let's give you the second quotation. Quotation 2. Quotation 2. Consider an examiner has given you the quotation of dollar stroke pound, for example. Dollar stroke pound. So we are looking to see the bid and ask, isn't it? Somewhere there must be bid and what? Ask. So if it is 1.870, this is a bid price. Remember, the ask price must be greater than the bid price, because the bank will always make profit during trading. So this is 1.964. So this is a 4 decimal places. Now, can you compute the reciprocal quotation? In this quotation, a pound is a trading currency, isn't it? Now let's see what happened to the reciprocal of this transaction. So you can make pound stroke dollar. So in the second quotation, a dollar is a trading currency. So what happened? Remember now this procedure. You take this one this way. You see that 1 over 1.964. This is a bid price when a dollar is a trading currency. Am I clear? Again, you move to the second aspect as follows. This way here. You see. Then 1 over 1.870. This is ask price when dollar is a trading currency. Am I clear from here? Do you understand? Okay. Now, why this I'm insisting? Always people will confuse, because an examiner is testing in a two-way quotation and also in a reciprocal form. For example, let me give you a very good example. This was also an exam problem which persisted in past papers so far. And you will see why this is important. NBAA exam problem. That was an exam problem. Okay? CRDB Bank has provided the following quotation. So always you will be given a quotation. CRDB Bank has provided the following quotation. So bid price and what? Ask price. Very simple. Now this is dollar stroke pound. Dollar stroke pound. Then 1.678 against 1.8600. That is a given quotation price. Now required. This is, you must be very much aware here. Required. Compute the cost to bank. I repeat, compute the cost to bank if it buys. I repeat, compute the cost to bank if it buys pound 10,000. That is component A. Component B. Compute the cost to bank if it buys how many? 15,000 $. Do you see? So part A bank is buying pound. But part B, the bank is doing what? Is buying dollar. Do you see the component? Let's see part C. Part C. Compute the amount received by bank if it sells pound 5,000. In part C, a bank is selling pound. Do you see? In part A bank is buying pound. In part B, a bank is doing what? Is buying dollar. Let's see part D. Part D. What to make you understand this problem? Part D. Compute the what? The amount received by what? Bank if it sells how many? $8,000. That is part D. In part D, a bank is selling how many dollars? 8,000. In part C, a bank is selling what? Pound. Let's see part E. Let's say part E. Compute the amount paid by a customer. I repeat, compute the amount paid by who? A customer who buy $10,000. In part E, a customer is buying $10,000. Remember, it's not a bank buying. A customer is doing what? Buying, isn't it? The last one, part F. Compute the amount received by what? A customer who sell pound 20,000. So these are technical problems in Forex. If you see a student is learning from this subject, it is because of this understanding. People are not aware only the movement of this transaction. Who is who at a point of the question? Am I clear? So if we solve from part A to F, the problem is resolved. You will be able to teach others on how to go. So let us start step by step so far. So, solution. So we had this solution. The first step is to move to the quotation price. So you have to write here bid and what? ask. That is a first step. Now, what is a given rate? It is dollar stroke pound. What is the ask bid price? Tell me. You have written somewhere, isn't it? It is 1.78. That is a bid price. What is ask price? 1.8630. Always 600. It is 600. So always remember, the ask price is higher than the bid price because the bank will require to make what? A profit. Now, a very good issue now here. Can you tell me the other currencies? The other quotations is pound stroke what? Dollar. Isn't it? What is a bid price? Tell me. What is 1 over 1.8600. Do you get a point? What is the ask price? There we have done. That is the first step. The second step, you must go to part A. I repeat, move step by step. If you don't follow these steps, you have gone. So, you have to go to part A. Now, what is part A telling us? So you go to part A. You write part A. Stop there. Look at me. You just write part A. And then you write somewhere the word bank. Next, the word customer. Because always, these are two people during transaction. You must be somebody, a buyer and a seller. Now, who is a buyer in part A? A buyer. So a bank is a buyer. And who is a seller? The customer. Do you see? That is a first step to understand. Don't move and solve this problem without understanding who is buying and who is selling. Am I clear? Number 2, you must state the trading currency. This transaction involves selling or buying what? Can you tell me? So, trading currency. Tell me, what is a trading currency? Yes? It is a pound because the question is requesting what? 10,000 pound. Therefore, a trading currency here is pound. Am I clear? So, you write the trading currency is pound. There, you have won a game. So, a trading currency is pound. Number 2, number of units. Number of units. We have 10,000 pound. Do you see that? Now, move to the forex. Therefore, you have to select a quotation where pound is quoted directly. Now, from our quotation here, which quotation are we going to use? Is it the first one or second one? The first one. Because it's where pound is a trading currency. So you take the first one. From our understanding, you write it here. That it is dollar. It is dollar against pound. And bid and what? Ask. Now, what are the rates? State again. 1.678. Again. Exactly. Now, after having this at this stage, you move to the bank. The bank is a buyer, isn't it? Now, what is the selected rate? What's the rate? Selected? 9. Which rate are we selecting? Bid price. Because a bank is a buyer. So, a bank is a buyer, therefore, select what? Bid price. That is very important. Which rate to select? Bank is a buyer, so move to where? Bid price. So, you are saying a trading currency, 1 pound equals to how many dollars? 1.678. So what is a unit? It is 10,000. So we had 10,000 pounds. Right? We had 10,000 pounds. How much is this transaction? So you compute that 10,000 pounds times $1.678 divide by 1 pound. How much do you get? Tell me. So this is, we cancel this one. So this is dollar how much? Yes? So 7, 8, 16,000. This way. So this is the transaction. So a bank in a statement, I'll write in statement now. You have to state in statement. We're saying the bank will pay how many? $16,780 will pay this dollar to a customer. I repeat, the bank will pay how much? $16,780,000 in order. Is it? It's not millions. So this is 1,000. Okay. So it is 16,000. So it will pay this 1,000 to a customer in order to do what? To buy how many? 10,000 pounds. Is this statement clear? I repeat, we are saying the bank will pay $16,780 to a customer in order to buy 10,000 pounds. So we have answered the problem very clearly. Do you see how it works? Now let's see part B. Let's see part B. Now, can you read part B? It says the bank is doing what? So we have bank and also we have a customer. So who is a buyer? Who is a seller? Yes. Read the statement first. Compute the cost to a bank. Therefore, a bank is a buyer, isn't it? So right here, bank, buyer, and the customer is a seller. What is a trading current? Trade is made on which currency? Read there. Dollar. And the units, it is, so we have $15. So, having this, you can now select which quotation from the above. Now, from above, you have two quotations, isn't it? Now, which quotation are you going to select here? The second one. Select a quotation where the trading currency exists. So this one here. So now you state somewhere in your problem, you transfer the quotation. It says, what is a quotation now? Tell me. The quotation is what? It is pound stroke dollar. So dollar is a trading currency. Now, what is a bid price? It is 1 over 1.860. About here, it's 1 over 678. Now, select a rate. Which rate are we going to select? A bank is a buyer. Therefore, select bid price. It's simple, isn't it? So, the selected rate says $1 equals to pound what? Pound 1 over 1.86. That is a selected rate. You can divide to get decimal, but you can leave this one also to understand. So, how much is the units in dollar? It is 15. So we are saying, how about now $15? How many pounds are we going to get? So we compute a simple computation involving fractions. I repeat, if you are not aware with this fraction, you can end up crying and crying without a solution. So here is simple. Here it is simple. If you don't understand algebra there, it's a problem. So a transaction here, it is, we need to see pound. So how much pound are there? We have, it is $15 times 1 pound divided by 1.86. Yes, times $1. Is it clear? Yes, how much is this transaction so far? Tell me. So is pound, yes. So it's pound F8 pounds. So it seems as if you are. Can you now tell me what was the question? He's saying how much the bank can do what? Can you pay, isn't it? So we're saying the bank will pay how much? Pound 8064.5 to a customer in order to what? In order to do what? To buy how many? $15,000. It is simple as such. Any question? Let's see part C. What is happening in part C? Tell me what is happening in part C. Yes. Read the question, part C. Yes. Read it. Yes. There, a bank is a seller, a customer is a buyer. If it sells what? Pounds. It's a trading currency. How many units? 5,000 is a number of units. Now, which rate? The first quotation will prevail. So, pound will be quoted in this way. So, dollar stroke pound. So, let me use here dollar. Okay. Dollar stroke pound. So, we have bid and what? Ask. So, this is 1.678 against 1.8600. Now, if a bank is selling, what is a selected rate? Ask rate. So this is a bank is selling. So you go to ask rate. Is it clear? So at this point, you move to the transaction safe. So we are saying £1 corresponds to $1.8600. 8600. Now, how many units are we having? We're having £5,000. How much is a transaction? So compute it. So it is $1.86 times pound 500 divided by £1. How much you get there? Take this. Sorry. It is now reported. It is $9. This one here. So we are saying the bank is selling, isn't it? So we are saying the bank will receive how many? $9,000 upon selling pound what? 500 to who? To a customer. So you have done. So selection of a rate and description on the practice safe. If you don't get started from here, you will continue confusing. But remember on how to select which rate and what is happening. Let's see part D. What is part D? Bring down read the statement in part D. What does part D say so far? Please. Part D. So a bank is also a seller and a customer is a buyer. Trading currency is made on dollar. You see, units. How many units? Yes. So, first of all, which quotation? You use the second one, isn't it? Use the second where this dollar has been quoted directly to the other currency. So, the second one is selected. So, you write somewhere that pound stroke dollar 1, the bid price and ask price. So this is 1.86 and 1 over 1.86 and this 1 over 1.678. Now, a bank is a seller. So which rate are we selecting? So a bank is a seller, so we need the ask rate. That is how it works. We are now go to the transaction safe. That $1 is equal to pound 1 over 1.678. Now, how many units we need to compute for $8,000? How many units? So straightforward, you can now compute there. So this is pound 1 times $8,000 divided by $1 times 1.778. Yes. How much is this? So it is pound. It is pound. Pound for 767.6. So these are the pounds. So the bank is doing what? Is selling. So I'm saying the bank will receive pound for 767 upon selling $8,000 to who? To a customer. Am I clear? I said if I solve all those portions, you'll be very much aware in techniques on Forex. And that's where you can create a good concept on future pricing, on option pricing, and even on swap. People do fail the component of future trading, option trading, and swap trading because they are not aware on what is happening in Forex. So, what is the next part? Part E. What's the next part? Part E. What is part E so far? So, part E. Can you tell me? Remember our system here. We have a bank, we have a customer, we have a trade, we have units. So you fill in there. Yes. Tell me. Now read the question. Yes. Compute the amount paid by a customer who does buy. So a customer buys. Do you see? Do you understand? If a customer buys, what is happening to a bank? It is seller. Now, next, what is a trade? A trade is on which currency? What? Dollar. So automatically, you select the second quotation. How much units are involved? $10,000. Is it clear? Okay. Now, the selected rate, the quotation so far, you move to the Forex, you can see the second quotation will prevail because a trading currency is dollar. So you write here, bid and ask. So remember the second one, which is pound stroke dollar. So this is 1 over 1.86 and 1 over 1 point what? 678. Now, select a rate for this transaction. You must move to the bank. A bank is a seller. Which rate? Remember, the price maker is always the bank. Even if a customer is having a currency to sell to the bank, the customer cannot determine his or her buying price or selling price. The customer must look to the quotation. If the customer does not agree, we'll move to another bank. So the customer is not a price maker in this transaction. So we are now going to our relation. So $1 is equivalent to pound 1 over 1.678. Now, how many units? 10,000 unit dollar. Isn't it? How much is for the pound? So, remember, we have pound 1 times $10,000 divide by $1 times 1.678. Now compute the pound. So this dollar, we cancel. Yes, how much is the transaction? First of all, you should get the transaction 5, and then 9.5. Isn't it? Yes. Now you have to write now. What's happening? Here, a customer is buying, isn't it? So you have to write that the customer will pay pound 595.9.5. Will pay this amount of pound to where? To the bank in order to buy how many dollar? Is it 10,000? Yes. So you see how it works. The way you are writing, it appears that you are answering the problem. So the customer will pay to the bank certain amount in order to acquire certain amount of currency. Having this evidence, then it indicates, records on your paper that you understand Forex. If you can't indicate such evidence, actually, you'll be hanging somewhere that perhaps you are trying to predict information which does not exist. Now we're going to part E. This is part E. Let's see part F, the last one, isn't it? Part F, the last one. Part F, the last one. Remember, the same component will also be observed to see it. Okay, let's see now. It's something very interesting. We started very simple, but now we're growing to the transactions. We have the bank here, and then customer, and then next trade, current, and then units. Now read the question. Read the question so far. Compute the amount received by a customer upon selling. So a customer is a seller and a bank is a buyer. Which currency is being traded? Pound. Number of units? 20,000 pound. So the first quotation will prevail here because we are trading in pound. Okay. Now, here we're saying compute the amount to be received. You see. Now let's see here. Dollar, stroke, pound, a trading currency, and then bid and ask. Now what is a bid price for this transaction? It is 1.678 and the ask price is 1.8600. Now what is a selected currency? A bank buys, isn't it? What is being selected? You see. So, offer, now you can see very simple here. That 1 pound corresponds to $1.678. Now we are having how many pound? 20. Correspond to how many dollar? So this transaction is easy to compute by cross multiplication. So the pounds and pound will cancel. So almost, what's the figure? 33,000 $33,506. 60. Okay. So 60. So you answer the question. That in this transaction, what was the question? How much was? Yes, the amount. Now you start with the customer will receive how many? $33,560 upon selling pound what? 20,000 to the bank. Do you get something there? Yes. This is the last portion we are solving, isn't it? Now tell me, do you see problem somewhere? Can you see the difference? Have you acquired anything? Actually, in Forex, if you don't have special concept on transaction, it is boring. You can see people are having different concept, different way of looking at the problem, and different method of selecting the rates. And then they keep confusing. If you're not aware on technical issue like this, how to select a rate, it is actually boring. So, this is 1 hour and 13 minutes. Is it clear to you on this transaction? Can I add another concept? So you are ready to add another concept, isn't it? Okay. So this is, we have done a lot of things as we started a two-way quotation and one-way quotation. So remember on how to understand who is buying between the bank and a customer. So we have customer's perspective and bank perspectives. Am I clear? And next we have what? Two-way quotation. And I told you on how to get the reciprocal. Am I clear? Now, the second idea I want to explain to you is what you call cross rate. If you understand the cross rates, then you have won the match. Am I clear? So cross rates, they are two-way quotation and one-way quotation. What's a cross rate? A cross rate, it is a situation whereby we have been given two quotation and three currencies. And we are having a trading currency in another quotation which does not exist in the market. As you asked me yesterday, that you could be having a trade in a certain quotation which its pair does not exist in the problem. Now, how to get that, or how to compute the transaction? Let us get started in a simple way and look further consideration. So, in a cross rate, there are the following condition. Number one, there must be how many quotation? 2 quotation. Number two, there must be how many currency? 3 currency. 3, what is saying? There must be a common currency. 4, the common currency must be quoted directly to what? To other currency. Am I clear? I repeat. Condition for cross rate. There are almost 4. Number 1, there must be how many quotation? 2 quotation. Number 2, there must be 3 currency. 3, there must be a common currency. 4, the common currency must be quoted directly against the other currency. Now, let me demonstrate this easier. Now, always NBA example. Number 1. Given the following 2 quotation. Quotation 1 and quotation 2. So, if I've been given a quotation, for example, TZS 240 stroke dollar. Am I clear? Again, Kenyan shillings. Kenyan shillings. $250 stroke dollar. You see. So, required. Compute the rate at which $1 is sold against Kenyan shillings. Compute the rate at which $1 is sold against Kenyan shillings. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, you can see here in our quotation that $1 is sold for how many Tanzanian shillings? 2,400, isn't it? Again, $1 is sold against how many Kenyan shillings? That much. Oh, sorry. I have mislooked this question. Compute the rate at which 1 Tanzanian shillings. This is the rate which is not existing. 1 Tanzanian or 1 Kenyan shillings. 1 Kenyan shillings, sorry, 1 Kenyan shilling is sold against Tanzania shillings. You can see this rate does not exist in a quotation. Am I clear? There is a rate at which $1 is sold against Tanzanian. There is a rate at which $1 is sold against Kenyan shillings. But we don't have a rate at which 1 Kenyan is sold against Tanzanian shillings, isn't it? So, the first step, I'm telling you to observe this problem. You have to observe step by step so that you don't confuse. If you do this one, you will win the game easier. Step 1. Do we have 2 quotations? Yes. So, step 1, you write, you are saying there are how many? 2 quotation. So, quotation 1 and quotation 2. That is step 1. So, quotation 1, it is ZDS 2400 against what? $. Am I clear? Okay. Having this quotation, now you are intelligent enough to compute the the reciprocal. That this one also, it is, or we can write this way here. Okay. This one also here, it can read $1/24 stroke Tanzanian shillings, isn't it? Okay. So you go for quotation 2. What is it? It is Kenyan shillings against what? How many Kenyan shillings have been given the problem? 250. So you write 250 against what? $. And the reciprocal can also be taken. What that one? It is $1/250 against what? Kenyan shillings 1. So this is step number 1. We have 2 quotations. Step number 2, what is saying? There must be 3 currencies. There must be how many? 3 currencies. Is this true? Yes. The first currency, ZS. The second currency, $. The third currency, Kenyan. So there are 3 currencies in these 2 quotations, isn't it? Now, step number 3, yes. Step number 3, what is saying? There must be a common currency. Is it true? Yes. What is a common currency there? So when you see in these 2 quotations, $$ exists in the first quotation and also $$ exists in the second quotation, isn't it? Am I clear? So, step number 3, unasema $$ is a what? Common currency. Now, what is step 4? Tell me, what happened in step 4? Tell me. Can't you read there? The common currency must be the trading currency. Am I clear? So you move to quotation 1 and you move to quotation 2. You must pick the quotation where dollar is a trading currency. You get the point? Now, in quotation 1, which rate is that? The first rate, isn't it? So Tanzanian shillings 240.00 stroke dollar. So pick the first currency, Tanzanian shillings 240 stroke dollar. How about the second one? Is Kenyan shillings what? 250 stroke dollar. So in this quotation, what happened? The dollar is a trading, isn't it? Now, what are we asked to find out? Is a quotation of Tanzanian shillings against what? And now you just divide there. So you take the quotation, the first quotation, divide by the second quotation. So divide. So divide quotation 1 to quotation 2. So take this one, Tanzanian shillings 240,000 stroke dollar 1. Divide by Kenyan shillings stroke what? Dollar. So once you see dollar, dollar will does cancel. So dollar will does cancel. Now divide 2,400 by 250. How much you get? You just take the division, no more division. 9.6. So this is Tanzania 9.6 per what? Per 1 Kenyan shillings. That is a rate we are talking. So this is a cross rate. Because this rate has not been provided in the market. Actually, this is the actual rate. So the cross rate is actual rate. So the cross rate is ZS 9.6 from Kenya. Do you understand this one? The cross rate. So always, when you are asked to compute the cross rate, an examiner must first provide two quotation. Number 2, the two quotation must involve 3 currencies. Step number 3, there must be a common currency. There we have done. Am I clear from there? Now, in a two-way quotation, this is not a problem. The problem arises when there is, and in one way, no problem. The problem arises in two-way quotation. This is where we need to have a technical issues on it. For example, let me see here. Let me make a simple understanding here. So when you compile your notes, we have some key issues. Yes, so example. Okay. So we have done here for the first quotation. I want to see the two-way quotation. The condition for two-way quotation. Condition for what? Two-way quotation. Exactly. Condition for two-way quotation. I want to make it is what is prevailing in examination. So when there are two-way, for example, there is bid and ask price. Do you get me? How do we compute the cross rate? Always do see figures in yellow. So I will show you by practical, because actually, if I don't generate a problem here, you can't understand it technically. Let me use practical examples here so that you get started. Let me select one of the examination. Which one is good? Let us use this quotation here. You see, this was an examination problem. This question here. Do you see clearly there? So he's saying the following information was extracted from Dar es Salaam Forex market. Quotation 1. It is Kenyan against what? Kenyan against dollar. Quotation 2 is quotation 1 is Tanzanian shillings against dollar, and 2 is Kenyan against dollar. Now find Tanzanian against Kenyan, which does not exist, isn't it? Now a problem, there is bid and ask. Now let me start first of all, so that you just understand. So solution. Step 1. We have said there must be how many quotation? 2. So you write quotation 1 somewhere, and quotation 2 the other way around. Let me have enough space for you. So quotation 1 and also quotation 2. Now quotation 1 is what? Can you copy it? It is ZDS stroke dollar. So we have bid and ask. Very important. What is the numbers? So it is 100,000 to 1 and 500, isn't it? But remember, you must introduce another rate, which is dollar stroke ZDS, which is 1 over and 1 over. So good. We move to quotation 2. You see, in the quotation 2, what is happening? It is Kenyan stroke USD. How much was that? 140, 165. So 140, 165. The reverse character exists on reciprocal, that is dollar stroke Kenyan shillings 1. This 1 over 165 against 1 over 140. Now, this is step number 1. Now, please look at me. In this regard, we have 2, bid and ask. Look at me. Can you evaluate the common currency somewhere? Of course, there are 3 currencies, isn't it? So we could say there are 3 currencies. You can see them. Now, what's the common currency? So we can now say there are 3 currencies, which is Kenyan, Tanzanian, and the dollar. That is well seen. Number 2, the next statement we're saying dollar dollar is the what? Common currency. Now, what are the formula in order to get the two-way quotation? Now remember, what are we looking is Kenyan shillings stroke what? Tanzania. And we need to evaluate how much is for the bid and how much is for the what? Ask. So we need to compute these two figures. Am I clear? Because the first quotation and the second quotation results into Kenyan stroke Tanzanian shillings, isn't it? Now, stop writing, look at me. I want first to start computing the bid price. This one here, okay? Now, how do you get this formula? You just write Kenyan shillings stroke what? Tanzania. Am I clear? Then we need to compute this rate for bid. You write here bid. Am I clear? Am I clear? So you take this one here equals. You put the line here. Okay? So what is very special here, and this is very important, that Kenyan shillings should be here. And here, Tanzanian shillings should be here. That is the second option. Number two, you must write slash. The term slash here. The term slash here. So slash common currency. What's the common currency? Dollar. And here, dollar. So next, you put here. Am I clear? Do you see how I mix the transaction? I repeat. Remember, this is Kenyan against Tanzanian. So this is Kenyan against Tanzania. But Kenyan stroke common currency. Tanzanian stroke common currency. Do you get the point? Now, this is a bid. Do you see here? So you write here bid over ask over. I start again. For the two-way quotation, there is a technical way of getting the figures. The first one, you must see which price are you looking for. The price we are looking is for the bid price. Am I clear? So the bid price is being computed for Kenyan shillings stroke Tanzanian shillings. So at the top there, the numerator, you write Kenyan. And the denominator, you write what? Tanzanian. Then all these transactions in rate, you put against the common currency. And then you bid over ask. Can you pick this figure? This rate, can you pick it? No problem. So go on top. We need Kenyan shillings stroke dollar bid. Where do we get it? Kenyan shillings stroke dollar bid. What's the figure? 1/4. So you write 1/40. Divide. We need Tanzanian shilling stroke dollar ask. Where do we pick? In the first quotation. Tanzanian shilling stroke dollar ask. What's the figure? 1,500. Done. 1,500. Now divide. Divide the numbers there. $0.093. Can you, does it continue? Okay, 0.0933. Let's say this way. 4 decimal places. Always use 4 decimal places. This is standard. Now, let's see. This is now, we're going to write it here. 0.0933. So, we have to compute ask. So, you write Kenyan shillings, so far, Kenyan shillings, stroke what? Tanzanian, isn't it? Again, you put this way, yeah? This is what? Ask. Is it clear? So you put equal sign and the demarcation is here. In red, you write Kenyan first, and then you write Tanzanian first. What's a common currency? It is a dollar. So, stroke, dollar, stroke, dollar. Then, you start again putting these brackets here. Now, look here. This is ask. So, you write ask over bid. Now, search the number. What is a Kenyan shilling stroke dollar ask? You move on the top. Where do we get? Kenyan shillings stroke dollar ask 165. It is 165. Then Tanzanian shillings stroke dollar bid. What that one? 1,200. Now divide. So what's the number? 0.1375. So 1375. So it is clearly now the ask rate has been computed. This is 0.1375. So this is the cross rate when there are two-way quotation. This is now the cross rate. Do you see there? This is the cross rate. Remember, in any computation, the ask rate must exceed the bid price. So if we are computing the cross rate and the answer results into ask rate being less than bid rates, then you have done wrong, because actually a bank can't make a loss in any quotation. Do you see how the cross rate arises? Now, where do we apply this cross rate? In this cross rate, we have two types of arbitrator. The first arbitrator is a geographical arbitrator. The second one is what? Triangle arbitrage. Now, in geographical arbitrage, you get a profit because of price difference. In geographical, for example, you examine the quotation of a currency in CRDB Bank and also in Exim Bank. If they differ, you buy from a point-wise cheaper, you sell it to the point-wise higher. But in a triangular arbitrage, there is a computation of cross rate of each 3 points, and then you start trading. This triangular arbitrage, I can't express it here. I'll do it tomorrow when your brain is more technical. So let's let me end here so that you can brainstorm this. So we have done for cross rate, we We have done for the way you can look for computing in trading, which rate to select and who is a seller, who is a buyer. After saying that, thank you for listening.